Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health. We have 8 locations to serve you better. Our staff is dedicated to help you and your family. Here's your host, Vicki Soule.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Community Conversations. If you have found us on your radio dial, good for you, because this is our first broadcast at 4:30 on Saturday afternoon, and we will be here week after week having wonderful conversations with people from around the Indian River County area. As most of you know, Treasure Coast Community Health provides primary care, medical, dental, behavioral health. We take all insurances and we take no insurance. That is, we provide a sliding fee scale for people who might not have insurance or maybe have an unexpected need. So we contribute back to you all by having interesting people come in. Some are medical or dental oriented. Today we have a pharmacist, Ken, who's been with us for many years. Ken is a natural educator, so I'm always pleasantly surprised by what he decides to bring forward to us. But I do want to assure you that we have people from outside of the medical community as well. We'll be having Sheriff Flowers up soon. We will have Leslie Swan. We have a number of different people around the community that let us know what's going on in a casual conversational mode. I'm just thrilled to be able to spend time sharing this information with you all. So we will kick off today as our very first Saturday at 4:30 Phenomena with Ken. And welcome back, Ken. You've been on our program before.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you.
Now, the last time you were here, we were talking about medications and how very expensive they are. And so you were telling us about some patient-assisted programs.
Yeah.
Tell us more, because it's been a while.
Okay.
And this may be a different listening audience. So let's kind of do a rerun.
Sure. Well, the last time we got into talking about some of the costs of some of the medications that are not available in generic form. Okay. One of the products was Eliquis. It's a very popular anticoagulant medication.
Sure is.
Blood thinner. It's doing very well, but it is extremely expensive. And if you don't have insurance, $500 a month seems extravagant.
Very.
Yeah. But there's programs that are offered by the manufacturers of these companies that you can sign up for.
Okay.
You can apply to what they call a PAP, which is a physician or a patient assistance program.
Okay.
And what we'll do is you fill out a little paperwork, you submit that, and if you qualify, you get the medication sent right to your house, generally a 6 months or 3 months supply, depending on the medication. And it's a great way to get healthy, to get back onto where you need to be. Doctors always have goals to set, and these medications actually help you get there. But if you can't afford it, you're not going to make the goal. And this is just a great way to get into that.
So Treasure Coast Community Health has 3 pharmacies now. They have one in Fellsmere, where you're at. Correct. They have one in our Oslo, South County location. And we recently opened up another one in Central Vero Beach in our Gifford location. So would all 3 of those locations be able to help someone with a program like this?
Yeah, all 3 of them will help. And it's not just the Eliquis either. It would be other medications, insulin, for instance, which is a huge one. And it's a necessity. People
Absolutely.
need that. So if you can get that for free, yes. But all of our sites are able to help and assist, and we can print out from the internet and get those forms to the patients.
That's great. Now, I've heard some physicians will do that. So it doesn't hurt to ask, if you're not a Treasure Coast Community Health patient, to ask your physician if they or their staff might be able to help you.
Yeah,
Is the paperwork complex? Do you need to bring a lot of financial information towards it?
You may need some depending on the drug that's involved, but it's not complex at all. It's 1, maybe 2 pages at the most.
Oh.
And they provide you a step-by-step on how to fill it out.
Okay.
And most of it's the doctor signing off on why the patient would need this medication. and the fax numbers are right available, so they can be faxed right from the center or from the doctor's office.
Or even from their home, but they need the forms and the advice and who to work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's something that where a patient doesn't have access to the internet for whatever reason, we're more than willing to come and print out the forms.
That's wonderful. And it's so important because, as you indicated with the blood thinners, with Eliquis, the old medication was Coumadin or warfarin, and that required regular blood checks where Eliquis does not.
Correct.
And it keeps you a little more stable, I understand.
Yeah, it's way easier when you don't have to go to the doctor's office, and you don't have to have these lab works done and blood tests done.
And adjusted all the time.
Yeah.
There's no adjustment on it.
No.
It just works.
Yeah, one medication, one tablet
cool.
twice a day, and you're all set.
That's awesome to know that help is available. So are there other programs that offer prescription assistance, maybe some of the cardiology things?
A lot of the new medications definitely offer those.
Okay.
The only issue with it is there can't be a generic available. If there's a generic available, then of course there's not. But the new medications for heart, for diabetes, for any type of thing.
Okay.
A lot of the AIDS medications have these patient program assistance things.
So it doesn't hurt to ask.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So what else is new in the world of pharmacy?
Well, there's a lot of stuff new, as of course we're back into the getting ready for flu season, so we want to make sure we get everybody, flu shots and those type of things.
There's a lot of pushback, on an average year. We see about half of the population willing to get a flu shot. Others will push back and say it doesn't do any good, or 2 years ago I got the flu shot and I got the flu anyways. So why is this year more important than any other year?
Well, we've had actually a decrease in the amount of flu because of the way people have been maintaining themselves.
With masks? That 4-letter word, mask.
Hand washing. Those things are critical. And we've noticed a decrease in the flu. But with that, it presents a problem. What flu strain is out there now? And have we decreased our resistance or our immune systems to fight off the new flu that might be out there? So it's always a good idea to get a flu shot.
Well, and, many people have asked how in the world they get the flu formula, so to speak. And it does come out of South America because they get their flu season before we do. And so it is a combination of old years, new years, and actually, best guess, based on history. So it's not going to fix and help everyone. But if you're not anxious to get the flu, if you are immunocompromised, if you're around a lot of little children or elderly folks and you don't want them to suffer, even if you are Superman or Superwoman in regards to the flu, it really is very helpful. And so are our pharmacies giving it out? I know a lot in town are.
The pharmacies themselves are not actually doing the flu shot, but the clinic does.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and make an appointment, come in and get a flu shot. It's not a problem at all.
Fast and easy.
Fast and easy.
Okay. Regardless of whether you're insured or non-insured.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Matter.
It doesn't matter. We serve everyone. Okay. So it's flu season. And I noticed that there was a medication collection that went on over the last month or so for people that had unused medications. Now, that was put on by a local group, but what do you do in between times? If you end up with, you had medication for your mom and she moved into a nursing home and now you've got this whole supply, what should you do with it? Do you want to keep it around your house until you hear that next supply collection?
No, absolutely. You can bring it into us. We can help dispose of that. We have little powder packs that dissolve the medication, so we don't have to throw them down the drain. Those type of things, Those, if it's small amounts, though, that's still an option, to be able to do that. But it's best to, get those medications out of your house. Most of them are probably expired or have been expired for several years.
Yeah.
And it's not a big thing that they may not hurt you, but they're not going to be effective. And that kind of leads us into one of the things that we'd also like to talk about is drug abuse.
Okay.
So if we want to go into drug abuse, that word is abuse. Most people think when they hear drug abuse, they think addiction.
Well, because we've made that more politically correct. We don't want to talk about addicts. So we say someone has a substance use disorder, okay, or abuse.
Right.
Okay.
But an abuse is actually the misuse of your medication. And it's not necessarily the overuse or that type of thing, or where
dependencies.
The dependency. Because addiction is you have a physical or psychological need for that medication. Where drug abuse, you can say, well, if one works, two's going to work better. So I have and then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, two might not work. I need three, and I really have a backache today, and then all of a sudden you're starting to get side effects from the medication. Aspirin, for instance, is a good example. People will take aspirin for their headache. Well, they used to take one, maybe two, and now they're taking 2, 4, or 5 times a day. Then they get a side effect from that, or a condition called otitis media, which is a ringing in your ears. And now you have to be treated for that.
But you probably don't put 2 and 2 together, that's the side effect from something that you've been doing, and then it kicked in to be a problem. And
that's another part of the abuse is all of a sudden you don't think it's a problem, so you don't mention it to the doctor. And he's treating you for this ringing in your ears, and they don't know that it's because you're taking 10 aspirin tablets a day.
So we're going to take a short pause so that we can have a word from our sponsors. But when we come back, I'll have you explain to us then, how do you help yourself if 1 or 2 is not working? Hi, I'm Vicki Soule, CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Indian River County is one of the top 10 richest counties in Florida. Yet, half of our families are underserved in medical, dental, and behavioral health care. TCCH, a nonprofit, believes in health care for all. Children need well checks. Women need mammograms. Men need annual physicals. Please consider partnering with TCCH to help meet the needs of our community. 100% of your gifts stay here. To donate, visit tcchinc.org.
The Tommy Bahama brand is legendary for its sophisticated interpretation of inspired island living. Right now at Sunshine Furniture, you save another 10% on all Tommy Bahama home and Lexington furniture during our Home for the Holidays event. Experience the casual comfort of the islands with designs made of exotic natural materials and rich finishes. We invite you to make life one long weekend with the cool and casual style of Tommy Bahama. At Sunshine Furniture, our showroom is filled with the largest selection of coastal indoor dining and bedroom sets, sofas, sleeper sofas, recliners, and slipcover groups by Four Seasons, Capri, Classic Rattan, Universal, and Hooker, all in stock for immediate delivery. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and don't forget our outlet and sales store directly across the street. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza next to Planet Fitness in Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and don't forget our outlet and sales store directly across the street.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, and I'm thrilled to be able to host every week Community Conversations, where we get to get more information about what's going on in our world. The newspaper does a great job. Certainly, we all have our internal grapevine or Facebook that we depend on. But this is an opportunity for you to hear firsthand with my prompting with questions, diverse information that might not hit either one of those because it's not a really good news or a really bad news story that gets picked up by those medias. So today we have Ken Zielinski, a pharmacist who works at Treasure Coast Community Health, who is an excellent educator, so I twist his arm every once in a while, come in and talk to us about what's going on in the world of medications. And before the break, we started talking about the difference between use, abuse, and addiction in various medications. And Ken comment that oftentimes we kind of take our medications, whether they're over the counter or prescription, and decide to do something a little more. So what's the problem with that, Ken? Even aspirin. I mean, when I was a kid, I was told, well, as a teenager, don't take too much because it'll cause you to bleed. I didn't know where or what, but it sounded ominous, so I switched over to Tylenol. But every medication has a potential for side effects, right?
Well, yeah, every medication does have a potential. And a lot of medications, the less the side effects, that's what gets them to go over the counter.
Ah, okay.
But some of the older ones, such as aspirin, if it came out today, the FDA would read the monograph for aspirin and say, we're going to make that prescription because of all of the potential side effects, the blood thinning side effects, the bleeding side effects, bruising, these types of things.
And a new one that I was unaware of, ringing in the ears.
Yeah, it's called otitis media. And it is a big problem because people will get this ringing in their ears and they don't really understand what happened from that or why it started or what it was. But it's most likely from some overuse of aspirin.
But we'll be happy to give you a referral to see an ENT.
Absolutely.
Because you didn't tell us that you were taking more aspirin than we thought you should.
That's right. Well, that's the problem. Is a lot of times you don't know because, that's common nature. Okay.
And that explains why a lot of physicians and medical offices now are asking about over-the-counter medications that you take as well. It's not to see that you're a good person or a bad person. It's just to get a full outlook on what your body is experiencing in total.
Oh, yeah. And there's people that are out there that maybe only take one prescription medication, and that's the only thing that they say they need to report, or they could be on several medications that are over the counter. You have cough medication, you have aspirin, you have Tylenol, you have topical medications as well. Those things all still need, the doctor needs to know about these things. If you have a topical, say, hydrocortisone cream, that's a steroid product. It can cause dryness in the skin. Well, why are your elbows cracking? Are you experiencing eczema or something? No, it's just because you're using hydrocortisone on your skin. And so if the doctor would know that, then they can go, oh, we don't have to run all these tests. We don't have to run these things.
So I'm thinking about those of us that don't have a lot of medications, go into the doctor's office and fail to remember that we did those. So list making might help those of us with failing memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as you say, they're just ordinary things that you do. And so if you were to go in within a couple of weeks afterwards of doing that, that would be a good thing to share.
It would be a good thing to share too. And we get into also we were talking a little bit about bringing your old medications, seeing what you need to keep in the house and things like that. With flu season, a lot of people treat symptoms.
Sure.
A lot of symptomatic stuff. You have a cough.
I swear by Theraflu now.
Yeah, you get Theraflu, or you have Robitussin, or you have, other medications that treat the symptoms of colds and flus. Well, they do that, but they still expire, just like other stuff. And so we don't want to keep, that Robitussin bottle you bought in the 80s. That's probably totally solidified by now.
This is true confession time. My aunt did a lot of over-the-counter things when she was living with us. And when she passed, I had to take the bull by the horns and say, what is all of this? And some of that medicine that she had up in the cupboard was 4 and 5 years old.
And sometimes they've been in the cupboard so long, the expiration date is faded. But we want to make sure that things are fresh, things are new, things are that if you have older products, check the dates on them.
Yeah.
Make sure that, they're not just, because that leads into the abuse part too. If a medication is not working or it's older where, it's not going to do any good, you're going to say, well, I need 2 teaspoons. This is the old stuff. I need 3 teaspoons.
There's a point.
And so there's always, you can.
Well, and, we don't have little children in our home anymore, but every home has visitors. Every home may have young visitors. And as much as you try to keep them out of things they shouldn't be in, most of us whose children have grown don't have safety locks on all of our cupboards anymore. So you don't want to have anything there that you don't currently need. And, I don't want to slight the teenage group, but they're in an age of experimentation, finding out through doing. And whether it's aerosols or liquids or whatever, you just don't want to have that stuff for them to experiment on. Not that they're bad kids. They're just curious. Inquisitive.
What does this do?
Yeah.
Why does,
How does cough syrup work?
Yeah.
If I take more, will I feel better?
Exactly.
Oh, I do feel better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I dusted the garage and I'm starting to cough. Do I need cough medicine? I saw some in the cupboard. Maybe I should go take some.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the things we want to try to avoid.
So they're a blessing and a curse, and we have to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you want to keep them in a safe location, and you want to keep them, up to date and fresh and out of the way. Especially now when you're hiding the mom and dad tax for the Halloween candy, you take the Butterfingers and the Almond Joys and you stick them away. The kids are looking for those.
That's very true.
They find the medications, and
Yes.
you're like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
And those are the things
So
you
true.
want.
So
to
true.
avoid.
So again, educating your children on the blessings and the dangers of medication. How early should that start?
As soon as you can, because who takes a lot of the medications? The children. Okay. And one of the things that I wanted to point out too, one of the abuse preventatives, we were talking about aspirin. Well, you hear the term baby aspirin.
Right.
Okay, well, it's no longer called baby aspirin. It's called adult low-dose aspirin. Okay, but they still make one that's a chewable. And that comes specifically in a bottle of 36 tablets. So there's not an overdose potential because the kids think those are candy because they taste orange and they're chewable, and if they can get into them. So even the manufacturers now are looking at, we have to prevent a potential problem. So we're only going to package that particular one in 36 tablets only.
Well, and that's really good to know. But again, as adults in the household, I have to remind you all before we conclude, when I have problems opening a bottle, I give it to a child. So, despite the manufacturer's good attempts, they're pretty
it's
pretty quick on it. So you need to teach them, okay? Yes, you could take your medicine, but mommy wants to always make sure that you get the right thing at the right time. So bring me the bottle. Okay.
Don't just take something because you find.
Yeah, so that too. So thank you, Ken. I appreciate your coming in and helping us refresh our memories about what we should and shouldn't do to this blessing / flip side of the coin, only if it works the way you intended it. So we'll have you back again in a month or two, and you can update us on some other things, particularly the work that you're going to be doing with our new diabetes team, where we're going to be working to help others understand the challenges and the advantages that Treasure Coast Community Health's team can bring to those who struggle with diabetes. So thank you very much for sticking with me till the end. Every week we'll have a different topic, and so it's always a pleasant surprise, I hope, to listen to our guests. And we are on Facebook as well as podcasts. So again, TCCH INC, and we'll be there to help you. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.